And now he's like the best quarterback in the NFL. Like, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen very often.
No. Quickly, we'll end on this because we'll get more and more into our TCU Georgia preview on, I guess, Sunday show, because it will be we still have 2 pods before that on Monday Night Football next week. How are they going to do that? Is there a Monday Night Football game next week or no?
No, because it's once we get into January, that's the end of the NFL season. This is week 17 coming up, right?
No.
Or final week. I think the final week of the season, they never have Monday Night Football.
Okay, that's what it is. I was going to say, because next week is the final week, yeah. Matt Green, Joe Milton fell. I quickly, I won't dwell too much on this for Tennessee, Clemson, but Tennessee beats down Clemson. Joe Milton has I would say there's been some like revisionist history about how this game went. And I don't know if you watched the whole game from start to finish.
I think I did basically watch this game from start to finish.
100 plays for Clemson in this one. Not a lot to show for it. BT Potter missed a billion kicks here early. Clemson, their offense just clunky. They do a lot of motion. One of the things that were down was Agata and Cole Turner are like their bread and butter. And it's just, there's no Mike Williams. There's no T. Higgins. They don't really have those guys anymore. And it's like, I don't care what Cade Klubnik's doing. I think Tim Banks did an unbelievable job calling this game, sending so much pressure at the freshman. No Jeremy Banks. It didn't matter. Like, Tennessee's front 4 and offensive line just beat the crap out of Clemson. And I think this game was more important than I think maybe the average fan are thinking, because Clemson and Tennessee are huge recruiting rivals. Like, they're right next to each other. They recruit the same kind of players in the Carolinas, in Tennessee, and you get the best you can out of Georgia and Florida and Alabama a little bit. But by and large, you're recruiting the same guys. And beating Clemson, who you are going up against, and seeing this offense, I think this was a huge indictment on that, where Squirrel White comes in, great over the top. Clemson had no answers for them. Joe Milton finishes the season with no picks. The guy has not thrown a pick since 2021, and 10 TDs, no interceptions. I think what people are going to miss from this one, and I think Joe was fine. He got MVP. I don't think he probably should have gotten it. He had some pretty throws. He had some bangers, but like, I think my notes are on the room, but I think it was 5 or 6 3-and-outs in this game from Tennessee. And he missed some easy ones. He's throwing low. He's still throwing 100 miles an hour on some gimmies on third down. He took some really bad sacks in this game that he's got to clean up. He started doing some RPO stuff and keeping the ball a little bit in the second half, but not the runner that Hendon Hooker was, and he has to start using his size next year and do all that. But, like, I came away like, he's right there in the middle. Like, I don't know. I'm still not 100% sold. I think he was fine, but I think the people who are like, oh, solidified, it's done deal. I'm like, no, there were a lot of, like, most offenses would have taken advantage of what Tennessee was giving them. The 100 plays, being in Tennessee territory a bunch, the quick 3-and-outs from Tennessee by and large happened multiple times where it just could not, and a lot of other teams probably would have taken advantage of this better. But I don't know. I think there was good and bad, but I think Tennessee finishing with 11 is huge. Great moment for Heupel, and Hooker and Joe Milton's relationship is awesome. And everybody wants Joe to succeed, and he had the bombs in this one. He showed better touch on his deep ball this time. But I'm still like, we'll wait and see. I'm not 1,000%. I don't think he was just it was not the same game as what we've seen from Hendon Hooker. And maybe by next year, in a full spring and summer, he's finally there, and everything has come together. But I think he's better than what we've seen from a year ago, but I don't know. I think Tennessee fans who are not expecting at least a slight drop-off from Hooker, I think a big drop-off from Hooker is, I don't know, might be in la land, because Hendon Hooker was special, and I think it's going to be tough for Joe. But by and large, great defensive stand. Tim Banks did a lot of awesome stuff, and the pressure from this Tennessee front 4 is big time. I don't know. What were your did you have any strong takeaways from this one?
What I heard was Joe Milton for Heisman.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picking up. I think Joe Milton is 100% going to have Heisman hype going into
Tennessee, I think, might start in the top 3 in the preseason rankings next year. I think they might start
top 3?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think they'll be preseason top 10, but top 3? I don't know.
Top 3 to 5. This offense is number 1. I think they finished 11-2. The preseason hype for this Tennessee team is going to be through the roof.
Yeah, but you got to think it's going to be Georgia, Alabama, and USC, and
Are you sure?
Ohio
Jaden
State,
Milroe and Carson Beck are both
Michigan.
going to be preseason ahead of Tennessee? Are we sure?
I would bet my life that Georgia will be ranked higher than Tennessee in the preseason. Like, Georgia's a young team this year.
Well, I'm saying
like,
Bama.
Alabama,
Milroe?
I mean, I don't know if it'll be correct that they'll be ranked ahead of them in preseason, but I mean, people just rank Alabama high.
I just think
because it's
Tennessee is going to. I'll
Alabama.
put it this way. I think they'll be top 5. I'd be floored if they are not a preseason top 5 team.
Floored if they're not top 5.
Yes.
So if they're number 6, you're gonna lose your mind.
I'm not gonna. No. I'm saying it would really, really blow my mind if they're not in the top 5. I'm not saying it's going to be earned and they're going to be a top 5 team, but they weren't ranked to start this year, which was a joke.
I think that's true. I was really surprised that they were ranked, and I was surprised how many people were kind of talking about South Carolina being a dark horse instead of Tennessee. But this is kind of what I said to you. Like,
Speaking
kinda
of, how
going
did that
back
end
to-
for them?
Oh
How
man,
did
South
that
Carolina Gamecocks looked good on Friday, but Notre Dame, that was a wild game. There were some great games this week, honestly. You got that one correct. Oh yeah, go back to our pick 'em.
Well, before we get into pick 'em, what were your Tennessee thoughts? And we'll put a bow on it.
Well, my Tennessee thoughts. It was kind of like I said for the Baylor. I brought up the Georgia Baylor game back in 2019 in the Sugar Bowl. Like, when you have that many guys opt out and then you do win and you win convincingly, like they did against Clemson, it's like you actually did learn something about what Tennessee. Like, if Tennessee lost this game, it was easy to say, like, whatever, this didn't represent us in any way. So for the fact that you won a game that was like that, and I think that the biggest thing I took away, like, this is obviously a big win for Tennessee for sure, but I think more than anything, this was a bad loss for Clemson. Like, to go to Cade Klubnik like you did, and it's like, DJU, he's out of here. Like, this isn't some sort of competition that's going to carry into 2023. Like, it's done. And like Klubnik, like Tennessee, their defense has not been, particularly great this season. And obviously they were down a couple of players in the bowl game. So Cade Klubnik, I came away very unimpressed by his performance, and not disrespecting Tennessee's defense in any way, but they've given up some points this year. And, obviously they played well in this game, but, I think you got to be
hit Klubnik a bunch.
I think you got to be worried
him
though.
down.
If you're a Clemson fan going into next year, like, is Klubnik really the guy that's going to take us from the Cade McNamara to the JJ McCarthy kind of level that they're trying to do, like Michigan kind of did? Like, they've decided DJU wasn't good enough. Like, is Klubnik better? Like, I don't know. Like, he reminded me a lot of like 2019 to 2021 Bo Nix. Like, he was running for his life. Like, maybe a lot of that's on Clemson's offensive line, but it felt like at times it was like phantom pressure. Like, he was leaving the pocket before he even needed to. Like, I don't know. He's